Favi, the Club World Cup is officially here, or it's officially almost here. We're like 2 days away from it. So I thought we would give our predictions for the MLS teams, what we think they're going to do in their group stages. Get your opinion, get my opinion, and obviously the fans, everybody watching this can let us know what they think the MLS teams are going to do. But before we get into the predictions, are you excited about the Club World Cup? I mean, it's like 2 days away.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for it. I'm gonna go up to Seattle with my parents to go see the first match, the Sounders and Botafogo. So yeah, I mean, I thought that was gonna be the only MLS team from the West Coast, so I planned, going up north to, cover West Coast MLS team. But then we got LAFC a little later, and it seems like LAFC was the only team that took advantage of that 10-day window to get a player in. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I was hoping some bigger names would come for this cup, but it's not happening. But I'm excited to get another tournament started and some excitement to grow within the United States because the USMNT does not look good.
No, they are the definition of down bad right now. And hopefully this isn't as down bad as we think it's going to be. So just for context, we're going to go with each MLS team. We're starting for Group A. I'm going to let you know each game that Miami's playing in a row, how they start off. Me and you are both going to give our prediction for each game, win or loss. And then we'll see if we either one of us have them getting out of the group stage based on that, which I'm not feeling too good about Seattle. We'll get to them next. But before we do that, let's start off with Miami. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you give it a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, we are 40 subscribers away from hitting 7,000, and our goal is to hit that number in the next couple days by the FIFA Club World Cup. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos. Now, back to the video. Miami didn't make any moves. No moves before this Club World Cup. Very surprised by that. They had a lot of resources they had saved up. I think it was like $2.5–3 million in GAM, potential DP spot. They didn't make any moves before the Club World Cup. And I just wanted to hit on that on each team before, just to talk about what they did going into this tournament.
Look, all I want is some respect for former U.S. youth national team William Yarborough, all right? Because they did bring in Yarborough before the transfer as a free signing as a backup goalkeeper.
You know what everybody's thinking right now? Who?
Yeah, exactly.
No, for real though.
Former dual international, right?
Yeah, Liga MX's legend.
Yeah.
So I personally was a little disappointed. I thought maybe they were going to do something that kind of, made some noise heading into this thing. We heard rumors about De Bruyne, Angel Di Maria, Luka Modric. They didn't sign anybody. So, very, very surprised by that. Very disappointed too. But let's head into their first match. Their first match is this Saturday. They play Ahly, an Egyptian team. Very good team.
That absolutely beat Seattle last time.
Smoked Seattle. I think it was like 3-0 or 3-1. Absolutely smoked them.
Remember Jordan Morris had a chance to tie it up, and then after that Seattle just
it was over.
Yeah,
the wheels fell off. So what is your prediction? Does Miami win their first match of the Club World Cup against Ahly of Egypt?
I think so. I think it at the Hard Rock Stadium with half of the venue full. I think it's going to be rocking in there. I think it's going to be a loud atmosphere. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a presentation, and I think Miami is going to want to win that game and start the tournament on a good foot and a good note, because if they don't, it can get bad real quick.
Yeah, I think that they win this game 2-1. And I think it's a very hard-fought match. I think Messi will have the best game of his 2025 campaign, and that's the only way that they win this game. I could see it going either way, but I think that they do get this game against Ahly. I think they're going to win 2-1, and they're going to win their first match. Now, their second match is against FC Porto, and it's on the 19th, so 5 days after this match. How do you feel about their chances against FC Porto, which is a very good team in Portugal? Historic team in Portugal.
Yeah, look, I mean, Porto's in a different league than the rest of the Portuguese league, but Segovia came from the Portuguese league. So he was a good player on a team that wasn't that good in the Portuguese league. And where would you put Segovia in terms of talent in Inter Miami?
hit or
maybe
miss.
maybe in the upper echelon or maybe in the middle, right?
Maybe, yeah, yeah.
But again, this is like the main team in the Portuguese league, if not one of the two. I think it's possible to get a tie, and I think I'm acting a little crazy right now. But if any MLS team is going to possibly tie a European team, I'm pointing at this game and I'm thinking it's possible. So I'm going to say a tie.
I think this is the one that they lose. I think this is, and we're going to get to Palmeiras, which is the last team that they're going to play. But Porto, I think, is the best team in this group. This is a team that is one of the only teams in Portugal that can compete with the big dogs in Europe. Right? They play in the Champions League very frequently, almost every year. They have a very deep roster. Miami just doesn't have the kind of talent to really compete with that. And plus, all their main guys are old. We've talked about this. Either their guys are too young and inexperienced, or they're too old and feeble, right? They're just not able to do what they used to do. I just don't know if Messi and Suarez and Alba and Busquets are going to be able to play at a high level for this many games in this kind of stretch. I think that they're probably going to, I don't want to say take this game off because I think they want to win, but maybe not give it the full send like they will maybe their last match. I think they'll probably lose this game probably like 2 or 3-0. I don't even know
Mm.
if they'll score in this match. I think this is going to be their toughest opponent of the three. And I think ultimately they're going to lose.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But the one team, if I'm Inter Miami and I'm worried about, I think it's Palmeiras, because there's already quotes about Palmeiras saying they're going to rip Inter Miami's head off. They want to play the best player in the world. That's the scariest game for me if you're Inter Miami, especially because the Brazilian teams have something to prove. They want to prove that they can, they deserve the fanfare, not the teams in MLS. I think you need a point out of this game if you're Miami. So I don't think they take this game off, because I think Palmeiras, the last game, it's going to go down to the wire. I don't know. I think it's not as doable as this Porto game, personally.
So heading into the Palmeiras game, that's a very good team in Brazil. It's my boy Tactical Manager's team, obviously. I'm sure he'll be excited to, maybe he's not too excited. I actually think he wasn't too excited about the Club World Cup, but I'm sure he's rooting for his team to win no matter what they're playing in. This is a tough opponent for Miami too, like you just said. They're very close to Porto, I think, quality wise. The Brazilian league is very good. Um, it's just one of those things again, man. I don't think they have the depth to compete. Ahly is a very good team as well, but their top end players aren't like that much better. Like it's more of like they're just consistent through the roster, but they're not like the high level players aren't just way better than anything MLS has. Now we're talking about Porto and Palmeiras. It's a totally different deal. Like they have some really talented players. I
So
personally think. Go ahead.
just to kind of put it out there, Palmeiras has Facundo Torres. They have Richard Rios, which was a Copa America superstar because he came on the scene, and now everybody in the Latin community in the United States has the Richard Rios haircut. But they do have some players. I mean,
Yeah.
like this team is not. They have superstars, and they had Endrick last year, right? So no, they're going to be able to compete. That's for sure.
I think they won the league last year, not this past like 2023, 2024. I think they won the league if I'm not mistaken. But I think Miami's going to lose this game. I think Miami's going to lose this game probably 2-1. It could get ugly. I mean, it just depends on how serious they take this match. But I think Miami will finish out their group stage losing to Palmeiras, and they will be eliminated from the 2025 Club World Cup.
Oof. Yeah, I think they're going to lose against Palmeiras. So I have them at 4 points, and I think they're going to advance, but they're going to advance as a second team.
You got Miami advancing.
I do.
Wow,
Barely.
interesting.
By
Is
the
it because you get
skin
the
of
hat on?
their skin of their teeth, they're going to advance into in the group stage.
Got to make things a little spicy. I hope they advance. I just don't see it. They arguably have the most favorable group to advance. We'll just have to see what happens. Okay, moving to Group B, or I call the group of deceased for the Seattle Sounders. I mean, man, what a tough draw. The toughest group in the entire tournament by far. I don't think it's even close.
No, 100%. I think you have the winner of Libertadores, and then the winner of the Champions League, and then you have Atletico Madrid, a team that's always in the running for La Liga, top 3 easily. And yeah, man, this is a bloodbath. This is gonna be bad for Seattle. They didn't make any moves. They're not gonna have Jordan Morris probably for this Club World Cup. It's looking grim, that's for sure. But one thing that Seattle does very well is defend. Let's see if they can defend against European talent.
Well, Jesus Ferreira is going to have the tournament of his life if they want to have any chance. Which I don't know about that. I don't know
Hey, have
about
you heard
that.
of Atletico of the Caribbean? Jesus
No,
Ferreira. Have you heard of Paris Saint Bermuda?
bro, this is going to be shipwreck. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be shipwreck. He's going to be stranded in the middle of the ocean. He's going to be on an island.
What if
Um,
Jesus Ferreira balls out though?
I mean, what if I ball out? What if you ball out? I mean, what if, right? I mean, I just don't see it, man. I just don't think he's going to have it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Seattle is going to be probably the most exposed team in the entire tournament. I mean, and it's not really even fair because of who they're playing. But let's get into that. So they start off, which is a game you're going to be going to, the Botafogo game. It's the first game they play. It's going to be on Saturday. Or is it Sunday? Sunday
Sunday.
the
Yeah.
15th. Okay. They're going to play Botafogo. I think that Botafogo is a very good team. Obviously, this one Copa Libertadores. They're the best teams, in South America right now. I think they're going to beat Seattle 4-0 first match. 4-0. We're
That's
going to smack
chocolate.
them in the mouth.
So just so you guys know, MLS guys, they do have Savarino as a player. They they have a guy named Igor Jesus as well. Alex Telles, a player that maybe you heard about if you watched European soccer.
Used to have Diego Almada before he went to,
Correct.
is it, yeah, was it Leon he went to? Yeah, Leon. He's at Leon right now, I think.
Elias Manuel is on Botafogo. Another MLS guy. That Gregore, another MLS guy. I mean, this is a good team. Don't get me wrong.
They won the Copa Libertadores.
Okay. But I think Seattle shocks the world. And I think Seattle gets a tie. They get a 1-1 tie in this game.
You know what's sad is that shocking the world is getting a tie.
Yeah.
He just shocked the world. He got a draw.
And I think if Seattle's gonna get a result, they need this result. And I think they're gonna score a goal, and I think they're gonna get a tie.
I just think that's funny that shooting for the stars is getting a draw. Yeah, I think it's gonna be 4-0. I think it's gonna be embarrassing. I don't think it's gonna be. I frankly don't think it's gonna be close. Okay, moving on to match.
How many goals do you think Seattle scores in the whole Club World Cup?
Well, let's get through the games and we'll add it up. We'll add it up and see how many I think they're going to. I think. Well, I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised with my guesses, honestly. But they play Atletico Madrid, who is. It's like each opponent they're playing is like a step up of difficulty. Like
Yeah.
their warm up is Botafogo, which is a good team. Second team is Atletico Madrid, which we just talked about. Top 3 team every single season. Sometimes wins La Liga. Only team that's not Barcelona and Real Madrid to win La Liga. They're the only team. And so they're very good. Obviously, Julian Alvarez, Antoine Griezmann. I mean, they're just a very good team. They're a scrappy team. Well, I'll let you give your prediction first. How do you think this game's going to go?
I think this is going to get out of hand quick. I think it's going to be 3-0 by halftime. The starters are going to get pulled, and then it's going to be 5-1 at the end. I think they're going to fall asleep, and I think Seattle's going to score one late.
I think it's going to be 5-0. 5-0. I think that Atletico is going to toy with them. Maybe it's a slow start. Maybe first 5 to 10 minutes, they kind of just, sometimes teams will just kind of fill out the other team, see what they're doing, what their tactics are, what their vulnerabilities are, and then they turn it on. I think that's what they're going to do with Seattle. And I think it's going to get ugly really quick. And I think it's going to be 5-0. I think it's going to be 4-0 at halftime. Then they'll put the backups in and they'll still be good. And they'll probably have chances. They might even score 6, but it's probably going to be 1 in the second half. 5-0. At this point, in case you're tallying it up, I've got Seattle conceding 9 goals and scoring no goals through the first 2 matches. That's what I got. And so the final game, PSG, champions of Europe, just absolutely smoked Inter Milan about little less than 2 weeks ago. Beat them 5-0. What's going to happen in that game, Floppy?
You know what? They're going to have a little Champions League hangover, okay? And I'm going to say they're going to win only 4-1.
Champions League hangover, bro. They'd have to have Champions League like coma. That's what would happen, like comatose. Like they would have to have like the craziest hangover, disability, whatever you want to say, food poisoning. Like
food poisoning, that's crazy.
Food poisoning, like they'd have to, and I still think they'd win.
No, 100%.
I still think they'd win.
They're gonna win, but they're gonna be partying still that they won the Champions League.
Okay, this is where it could get ugly.
No,
I'm thinking like 6 or 7-0.
I don't think they need it because they're gonna have the goals already.
Here's the thing, though. PSG is way better than them, obviously, but they're a team that spins. Like their backups would their reserve team, their B team would probably still win MLS pretty handily. I think that even when they make the substitutions after the first half, because they're going to probably play their stars in the first half, I think that they're probably just going to run away with it, man. I've seen things get spicy before. I mean, I watched Arsenal. Now this is a little different, but I watched Arsenal play the MLS All Stars and beat them like 6-1.
Yeah,
and that's the All Stars of the league.
I was there. That was insane.
Yeah. So who knows? Like this is the first. Okay, some people might not think this is competitive, but it's supposed to be, right? This is the first time that we have seen MLS teams play European teams in a competitive format that's legitimately competitive, not a summer friendly.
Right.
So I think it could be, I'll say 6-0. 6-0 is what I think with this. So it goes from 4-0 to 5-0 to 6-0. And for all you at home, that means that Seattle got outscored 15-0 in their 3 games, which means that they have been eliminated from the Group B stage. I think it's going to be PSG and Atletico, by the way. That's my 2 teams I think are going to advance. I think Botafogo could give Atletico a run for their money, but they're just too deep. They're both of those teams are just too good.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking 1A and 1B basically for that group. I think Botafogo has a chance to get a couple ties, but I don't think they're going to beat either team. Seattle's going to score some goals, okay? Seattle is going to score some goals. Pedro de la Vega is going to shine, okay? And we're going to see them lose by an aggregate of 12.
So we'll make a friendly wager. I don't think they score in the group. You think they score at least 1 goal in the group. We'll see what happens. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys think the Seattle Sounders will score 1 goal in Group B. Let us know down below. Yes or no. Okay, Group D, LAFC. So before we get into that, LAFC made 1 signing. They were able to sneak one in. It's a winger from a Dutch winger from Club America.
They said
his name. What's his name?
We won the entrance to the Club World Cup, and give us this guy.
Yes. Right? Yes.
They played for pink slips, basically.
Exactly. So what do you know much? This guy I saw.
I saw that he was really hyped going into Club America. America fans were calling him a flop. I mean, his stats really don't show that he did really well at all in Liga MX. But a lot of times Liga MX players don't do well because of the change in environment. It's really different. In my opinion, if you're not a Spanish-speaking player playing in Mexico, it's usually pretty tough. Uruguayans succeed in Mexico because of Spanish. I see like basically Spanish-speaking countries players play well in Mexico, but not the other way around. So all of us, honestly, on all fronts, that transfer for this winger to America is a weird one anyway. That seems like it's a player that should have been in MLS, and he finally got to MLS. Under, according to Tom Bonger, actually is already gone. Like he's not on the team anymore. And now that winger comes in and provides some depth for them. But I think LAFC can make some noise in this group because they're a counter-attacking team with Bouanga. So I think Bouanga could do some damage and possibly not against Chelsea, but against the other teams, I can see it.
Yeah, I think that Bouanga, Drew's made for something like this big tournament, right? He balls out when he's on the big stage. A couple reservations about this team, but I think people will be surprised how I feel about them in this group stage. I actually don't feel as negative about them as I do the other two teams. Let's talk about their first match. Their first match is it's the opposite with versus the other two MLS teams. They're getting the biggest hitter out the way. First game. First game's Chelsea. First game's against Chelsea, and it's on Sunday. Or sorry, Monday. They're playing Chelsea. I think this game is going to be 4-2 Chelsea over LAFC. Yes, Chelsea scores 4 goals, but I think LAFC punches back, and I think that they actually look pretty decent. I think Denis Bouanga looks good. I think Giroud looks good. I think Hugo Lloris has a pretty good game. I mean, obviously there's 4 goals, but I don't think he looked bad. I don't think it's his fault while they're conceding goals. I think they look good. I think that this is like a positive tone setter for LAFC in the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think it's going to be a little bit less goals. I think it's going to be 3-1. Chelsea might be a little rusty, but I think LAFC does score versus Chelsea, and I think you're right. Giroud and Lloris kind of make it so that it looks like a respectable game, and I think Bouanga is going to impress and turn some heads in the world. I think Bouanga might be on his way out after this tournament because he might impress, in my opinion. But yeah, I think this is a game that's going to set the right tone for LAFC. They're not going to get embarrassed, and I think that's what people are going to look at the most.
Yeah, I think they'll look. I think that they will be. It will probably be the best performance against a big club that an MLS team will have in this tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to their second match, it's going to be 4 days later. This is a Tunisian team. I think they're pronounced S Tunis, if I'm not mistaken. I think LAFC win this match. I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be like a routing. I think they'll probably win it like 3-2 or 3-1. And I'm not trying to disrespect this team, but this is one of the easier opponents that MLS teams are going to have to that they're going to have to play against compared to the other opponents. And I think LAFC is a very good. They're a very good tournament team. They really are. It's kind of like they're built for this. I don't know if now they're not necessarily good at winning tournaments like the whole thing, but they're good at performing in tournaments. And so I think they get their first win. I think they beat S Tunis 3-1 in leg 2 or game 2.
Yeah, I think this is where they're going to need to get some goals. I think this is where they need to get that goal differential up as much as they can, because if they get this win and they tie against Flamengo, they're going to need that goal differential to save them, right? So I think they're going to go all out for this game. I'm going to say a 4-0 win for LAFC. I think LAFC needs this game to advance, and I think this is the game that they need to pour the goals on. And I think Giroud starts this game too, because I think they need to get that calmness, big moment of this tournament. Uh, Basically, they need this game no matter what. So I'm going to say 4-0 LAFC.
Yeah, you say 4-0 LAFC?
Yeah,
4-0? That'd be a statement win. That would make me feel a lot better heading into the Flamengo game, because Flamengo is a historic club in Brazil. They're still a very good team. But I think that this is going to be the statement win of the tournament for Major League Soccer against Flamengo. I think LAFC are going to win this game 2-1. I think it's going to be a hard-fought battle. I think it's probably going to go down to the wire, and that there's going to be a late-minute goal by either Denis Bouanga, Olivier Giroud, maybe even the new signing if he can work into the starting lineup quickly, which is going to be hard for a new guy to do. But they've got options, or Nathan Ordaz, Nathan Ordaz has been very good for LAFC this year. I think that they win this game 2-1,
yeah.
which means go ahead.
Honestly, this game is like, let me say some of the names that Flamengo has. De Arrascaeta, a player that plays for Uruguay, wears the 10 for Uruguay. Nico de la Cruz, another Uruguayan guy. Danilo, a guy who plays for the Brazilian national team. Another guy who you guys might know from MLS is Luis Araujo. Remember him at Atlanta? But again, this game is winnable. I mean, this game is totally winnable. I think it's possible. I think it's a game that LAFC could say that they can get two wins in this tournament, but I think this game is going to come down to a tie. And I think it's going to be a 2-2 tie. And I think LAFC is still going to advance off a goal differential.
Okay, so I don't have Inter Miami. So do you both? We both have them advancing. We don't have. You don't have them advancing.
No, I think they advance as the second.
Okay. Okay. So you have. I have one team from Major League Soccer advancing. You have two. You have Inter Miami and LAFC both advancing out of the group stage as team two, as the second
Right.
team.
Yeah.
Okay. So by that logic, if and let's just do LAFC first because I've got it pulled up. If LAFC wins and they're the second team, they will play most likely Bayern Munich in the next round.
It was fun while it lasted.
It was fun while it lasted. Yes, that's when the party ends. That's when the wheels fall off. So I would assume we both agree.
Boca shocks the world and gets somewhere by beating Benfica and Bayern.
Well, Benfica could, be competitive with Bayern. I mean, I'm not saying they will beat them, but they could. I mean, Benfica is a good team.
Yeah. No, I think I saw Bayern's roster and the players coming off the plane, and I think they brought a full squad. I don't think they didn't bring. I think they brought everybody.
Well, we got some more bad news. Okay, if Inter Miami is Group A team number 2, they would either be playing Atletico Madrid or PSG in the next round.
Yeah,
so sayonara. It was fun. Messi, hope you enjoy the short break afterwards. I don't know when the MLS season picks back up for the Club World Cup teams. But yeah, it's going to be ending very soon. So look, I'll just say this. If one MLS team can make it out of the group stage, I would consider it a huge win for the league. If one team, Fabi, can even look good against a good team, I consider that a huge win. Just because this is, and I told Alexi this, I've told my friend Vince this, I've told everybody who's talked to me about the Club World Cup. MLS is going to get exposure that it's never had before playing against some of these teams. Some people have never heard of LAFC. Some people have never heard of the Seattle Sounders. Some people, well, most people have heard of Inter Miami at this point. But you get what I'm saying. A lot of people have not heard of some of these teams.
Yeah, honestly, LAFC has a lot to win. I think LAFC has a lot to win if they make it to the next round. And I think the exposure they're going to get is something that we've never seen before. I think Bouanga becomes a player that's the first out of MLS after this tournament. If MLS does better than Liga MX and Argentina, in my opinion, that is a win.
Real quick bonus question, because Liga MX is our rival. Do you think Liga MX, Monterrey, there's only 2 teams because of Leon getting bounced. Do you think Monterrey makes it out of Group E? Boca Juniors, Inter Milan, and I don't know who the 4th team is.
No. It's River, Urawa.
Oh, sorry, yeah, River Plate. I'm sorry, not Boca Juniors. Yeah, River Plate, Inter Milan, and there's a 3rd team. I'm not familiar with who they are, but Inter Milan and River Plate's obviously very tough.
Yeah, I think that's Urawa Reds. Yeah, Red Diamonds, the Japanese football club.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that's a
tough group.
It's River or Monterrey, in my opinion. The Japanese football league is, I hate to say it, not at MLS level. So I think Group E, Monterrey can, behind Sergio Ramos, can make some noise. And Betarame, I think, I think Monterrey can advance. And then in the next Group H, where Pachuca is with Real Madrid, Al Hilal
and Salzburg.
I think that one looks tough. I think that one is very tough for Pachuca, because Pachuca's not known for this. They're known for their younger players. They're known for doing well when they're not expected to. But this just looks like too tall of a task, I think.
Uncharted waters, yeah. Well, so I think that all the Mexican teams are going to get grouped. I think LAFC are the only team that's going to make it out of their group. You think Miami and LAFC are going to make it out of their group? Let us know in the comment section down below how far you think all the MLS teams are going to go, all the Liga MX teams are going to go. Bobby, what were you going to say?
I want to say this really quickly. MLS is going to make it farther than the Argentinian league.
Wow.
I think that's going to happen.
Boca Juniors and River Plate are the only 2 teams, right?
Yeah. Boca looks like no way out of that group.
I think River Plate has a chance. I think River Plate will probably.
Monterey plays River in Pasadena.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a home game, in my opinion, for Monterrey, and I'm going to be at that game, and that's going to go ahead and swing that group, I think.
Favi, it's been a pleasure. We're going to be doing some coverage. I'm hoping that you're on a couple of these live watch alongs with me, especially the Miami or LAFC games.
Yep.
I hope you're on a couple of those. Before I let you go, tell people where they can find your stuff at Urban Pitch and where they can follow you at on all your social medias.
Yeah, you can find all my articles at Urban Pitch, and then you can find me at Fabian Rankel, and then on Threads, I'm still kicking. I am Fabian Rankel. You can always find me there too.
He's got equity in Threads at this point. Favi, I appreciate my friend. It's going to be an enjoyable summer, not for the Gold Cup, but definitely for the Club World Cup. Hopefully, at least we get some entertainment one way or another. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.